I only get sick Monday through Friday. It must be my weekend immune system. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Isn't Quite Dead. I've been sick all week. Hopefully, we can stream later today. But one way or another, we've got a video to try to get back in the habit. So I'm feeling mostly better. You might hear my voice is a little bit off, but the Imperial Remnants are getting their own set of Lightspeed tokens, and people keep asking me what's the best deal, which are the ones that you should purchase or buy, and I figure, why not? Why the heck not? So, huge shout out to my patrons. First off, I need to update this thing. I think I have a couple people who aren't on here that need to be on here, and you guys are amazing, and so thank you. I appreciate your patience, as I am sick and don't have time for details like this apparently, which I should, but I don't. So thank you guys so much, and huge shout out to the people who want to support this channel without spending any money. If you want to do it for free, please hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Please help them mount the algorithm, guys. It'll help me stay away from sickness. It'll stave away the lack of health that I've been experiencing. I can't back that up, but I'm pretty sure that's true. So let's talk about, whoa, we're in the game. This is madness. Even when I'm sick, we're in the game. It still happens, guys. So let's take a look at the rules for these things first, shall we? Let's just take a quick look-see. So if you're gonna be in either of the reward things at the very end of the era, episode 3, it looks like, we're going to get these little tokens. So if you spend money, if you want to buy the episode pass for $20, which if you're going to spend money in this game, either spend it on Lightspeed bundles or spend it on the episode pass. Very good money spent if you're going to spend money. No pressure to spend money on this game, I promise. But if you're going to, so you get some characters leveled up to some pretty nice specifications. Now this is on my alt account, or on my main account, which means I have most of the characters, if not all of them, like relicked and stuff. So it's not gonna, as this little passive-aggressive triangle that it's like, hey, you suck, this isn't for you, a-hole. And I'm like, you're right, I am an a-hole. But it gets you to relic 1, gets you to level 85 on a character, 5 stars. And if you want to look and see what the criteria are, so it has to be released in the Legacy era or earlier, which I looked, all of them are Legacy era or earlier. All of the Imperial Remnants are. So we can't have it be on a Galactic Legend. Good news. None of the Galactic Legends are Imperial Remnant. Journey Guide unit. None of the Imperial Remnants are Journey Guide units. Conquest units. Now, we do have one that we'll cover in just a minute. Guild Raid unit and Territory Battle unit. None of those. So, mostly wide open. Alright? And, of course, you get the lesser reward if you want to be cheap and not spend any money. I sound like I hate people who don't spend money, don't I? You terrible poor people. No, I really don't care, guys. But apparently I just have less of a filter if I'm feeling sick. So anyways, you can get this. You only get to gear tier 12 and 4 stars. And the thing is, it still has a lot of value, because even though gear tier 12 does, that's the most expensive gear level, of course. I don't mean to say that it's not, but you also bypass all of those Chirotech, which, as of right now at least, are still very much a bottleneck for new and mid-game accounts. And so your most characters cost 400 Chirotechs. Getting to gear 12 instantly bypasses 300 of your 400 total Chirotechs, which is not like, it's a lot, actually. It's really nice. It's a really nice boost. So still a really nice thing to get. So let's actually look, though, at what the best deal is, which are the ones that are the most relevant, which ones are least relevant, etc. Whoa, whoa, my face changed places just like that. That's amazing. Okay, so what doesn't apply? First off, we have a conquest character that you cannot use a Lightspeed token on. So, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, sorry to say, you've been included in the axis of evil. Just kidding. I'm not. I don't. That's not what I normally say. So what is the best deal? What are the ones that are the very best, like the best deals in general? So all of these guys cost Kyrotech, and so it's the Zombie Bros plus Scout Trooper, and the thing that distinguishes these from any of the other ones that do cost Kyrotech otherwise is they're all requirement characters for pretty vital things. So Scout Trooper is a requirement for Princess Leia, Galactic Legend Leia, and she's not princess, I guess, in her title, so sorry. But Scout Trooper is also a pretty vital character for a lot of different teams. If you want to run, like, Iden teams are not like super meta these days, but still pretty strong in the mid and early games if you want to go that route. And Iden is needed as a pilot anyways, so you might want to work on that team. But Scout Trooper going with Iden is really nice. Scout Trooper going with just like the standard Imperial Troopers is pretty nice. She does things like days, like auto days, which, you know, messes with Wampa's ability to counter you. And Scout Trooper also is able to function really nicely on a Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team, which I think is her best use. At the end of the day, that's probably the best use. So Scout Trooper, probably my favorite of those picks, honestly, though I would say Night Trooper and Death Trooper Pretty are probably just a little more, I don't know, more fun for me in terms of, like, they're part of the Great Mother's Night Sisters team. They're also requirement characters to unlock. Which one was it? Either Ahsoka or Balin. I mean, either one, I don't really recommend those those farms, those characters to unlock right now because they're not really needed for anything. I mean, other than having like kind of strongish teams. But I mean, they are requirement characters, so that's nice, right? And then Night Trooper and Death Trooper Pridia have really potent uses with Night Sisters, with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, and then of course the trio of these guys is used really nicely for the assault battle. That is probably the best rewards in the game currently. So all of these four are, I don't see how, if you don't have these ones, I would use the Lightspeed tokens on them before anyone else, just because they're vital. They're important for several different reasons. Scout, like, it's impressive to me that Scout Trooper would be so much on the fringe when, I mean, she's an important, strong character, and as an unlock character, but the other ones kind of shove her aside because they're already unlock characters, and they're also an assault battle character, like tons of uses, tons and tons of uses, not to mention just part of really strong teams. So very strong. All of these ones I would highly recommend. The next one, the next tier, there's only 3 tiers, folks. It's not a huge faction. So the next one is the pretty good faction, our tier. So Moff Gideon, Moff Gideon and Dark Trooper. And I mean, I can't really say anything bad about these guys. Moff Gideon is one of the fastest characters in the game, and then he can do all sorts of cool stuff with turn meter stuff. He goes really well on Dark Trooper Moff Gideon's team. You can also use him with these weird, like, Gidme teams or Thridian teams that, I mean, kind of lost a little bit of value in 3v3 lately, but still have some definitely uses in the mid game. So Moff Gideon, pretty dang good, but he's just not required for anything specific. He's not like he's the factions that he's part of. Like, yes, he's part of the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team, which can be still very relevant in TW and even GAC sometimes. You know, and different game modes that you will find some uses for them, like territory battles. You will use them for at least one fight every territory battle on Mandalore, etc. But you know, he's just part of I I don't know, non-vital teams, I guess. Like they're kind of, well, you know, take them or leave them. And then Dark Trooper, he's the lazy trooper. He can't be bothered to walk anywhere. He just uses his rocket pack to get where he wants to, and then he punches people several times. And he does a ton of damage. And if Imperial troopers were part of the meta right now, that they were constantly, consistently deleting things, I mean, it's hard to find better value. He really does hit things very, very, very hard. He just the team is just not as good anymore lately, unfortunately. Like it's depressing fact of a meta that, you know, eventually teams kind of get kicked to the outside. I would like to be able to use him more. He's a really fun character, but he's not required for anything. He hits pretty hard on a team that is just not used very much. Again, early and mid game, he'll get used quite a bit if you have the Veers Piet group updated. But if not, you're just not getting the best bang for your buck. Still, not too bad. Finally, and these guys are also not too bad, honestly. Death Trooper, Stormtrooper, and TIE Fighter Pilot. I mean, TIE Fighter Pilot, still a pretty good ship. In a fleet that is not as vital as it used to be, but he still does some cool stuff like buff immunity and ability block and stuff like that. He's got a cool AoE. He looks cool, which is a bonus. That's a plus, right? Stormtrooper, can you say iconic? No, Stormtrooper is actually genuinely one of my favorite characters in like on any Iden team or on a Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team. A lot of times you want that second tank. Stormtrooper is surprisingly resilient. He's really strong. And then Death Trooper is he's good too. I mean, I say that and it sounds unconvincing the way I'm saying it, but I mean, he's the one I use in territory battles on Dathomir if I want to get through the witches faster, because he's got Death Mark. And so once you kill zombie all the way through, then you can use Death Mark to slowly one by one eliminate people. And Dark Trooper Moff Gideon is just strong enough and resilient enough to survive long enough for you to delete all of them. Is it a tedious battle? Yes, but he makes it possible. He does a lot of damage. He assists a lot. His AoE increases cooldowns, which is obnoxious. He is just a very strong character. You just need to be able to revive him, because otherwise he dies really easily. And don't think about using him with Krennic, because Krennic sucks even with his Omicron. All right, I think that's it, folks. I don't need to take more of your time, but honestly, none of these are terrible choices. I guess the one thing I do want to point out that I didn't mention mentioned before is the pretty good tier and the requires 0 Cairo tier. Hopefully it's easy to spell out once you read those, but the ones that the Moff Gideon and Dark Trooper require Kyrotech. The other ones are all old enough that they didn't require Kyrotech when they were released, because Kyrotech hadn't been invented as the vile scheme that it was back in the day. These characters are old enough not to require Kyrotech until you get to that Gear 12 level. So anyways, that's it. Happy hunting. Have fun getting a minor faction minorly upgraded for free, if you can get all the way to the level 50 on the era trail or path or whatever the heck it's called. All right, I'm going back to bed. Take care, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Take care.